What golden nugget of information do you have to share? Monkeys have a very distinct way of wonking off, and yes, they do wake themselves, which, in contrast to normal human male way of forming a tube with their hands, creates a shovel with their hand and cup their genitalia from under, and repeatedly rub it. I don't watch monkeys jack off, I just saw it in a documentary. In the center courtyard of the Pentagon, you don't have to salute superior officers. It's a recreation lunch area and you'd basically spend the whole time saluting, so it's not required there. Source: my uncle, a Navy corpsman, who currently works at the Pentagon. If you don't have a toilet plunger, and you've clogged it up, pour in a bit of dish soap, and some hot water, the hotter the better. Let stand for 15 minutes, and flush. Learned this when immediately upon arriving at our hotel. Why 8-year-old clogged up our toilet, and I googled. Found this gem. Realized I'd packed a tiny travel bottle of dish soap. Warmed water up in the microwave fan, lo and behold, it worked. I still use it sometimes at home, when I don't want to be grossed out by plunging. Yes, my child has a tendency to clog toilets. So there you go. X% of Y is the same as Y% of X. So if you're struggling to find 26% of 50, maybe 50% of 2613 is much easier to do quickly. I have some words for my 6th grade math teacher. Ctrl plus Shift plus ESC opens straight to the task manager instead of Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete and then manually selecting task manager. Horses have a massive blind spot on the front and back of their body. If you are ever around a tame horse, keep a hand on their body while walking around them. This lets it know where you are at all times and decreases chances of kicking out of shock or fear. This also prevents them from kicking you with as much force. You need to stay very close to them for the full benefit. This is similar with goats, as they instinctively fight things coming head-on and should be approached from the sides. Also, ears are the gateway to a horse's feelings. 10 back ears indicates an anxious or anger horse. 10 straight up indicates curiosity and focus. If your older parents, grandparents are suddenly acting strange, get them checked for UD. In older people, UDs can cause a psychotic or delusional episode. At the beginning of every relationship, agree to assume positive intent. Talk about it often. Don't forget about it, and make it the most important rule. Fights will be less, empathy will be greater, and your relationship will be stronger. Hot and cold water have different viscosities. Not enough to feel a difference, but enough to hear one when you're pouring it. Even though you have a VPN, it doesn't necessarily keep you hidden if skilled people wanted to find you. There are many things that can leak your IP that you have to isolate and fix, such as IPv6 leaks, DNS leaks, and WebERC leaks. Also, every add-in you add to your browser, it gives you a unique fingerprint that can lead back to you. You're not as secure as you think. Artillery was responsible for over 70% of combat casualties in both world wars. And 4% of the sand on the beaches of Normandy are still made up of shrapnel. That is mind-blowing. Really drives the point home how it must have been hell on earth. A scorpion can hold its breath for 6 days, so don't think drowning it will help you out of your scorpion problem. A moose can run 40 miles per hour through 6-foot deep snow. For a garment to be labeled Made in USA, the process only needs to be started and finished in America. In the case of a certain ladies' underwear line, the material is cut in USA, shipped overseas for assembly, then shipped back to America, where a seamstress sews a Made in USA tag on the item. Source: underwear factory worker. It's crazy how it's cheaper to send clothing across the world to be assembled, and it is to just do it domestically. When looking at renting a car, hotel room, etc., type in your company's name, discount code, vendor in Google, EX, Wells Fargo Hertz discount code. You can get better rates on these items usually. Iron can make your poop color turn black. When Elton John changed his name from Reginald Dwight, he also gave himself a middle name. His full name is Elton Hercules John. The Earth wobbles really slowly like a spinning top. It takes about 26,000 years to come full circle. In the process, the northern star changes. This is called precession. It's one of three major changes in Earth's movements, which are part of the Milankovitch cycle. Precession occurs 26,000 years, eccentricity occurs 125,000 years, obliquity occurs 41,000 years. These cycles all have effects on Earth's climate. For more information, just search Milankovitch cycles. I had a heart transplant 5 years ago. When your heart is replaced, the surgeon has to cut the main nerve that gets the signal from the brain to beat or increase the intensity of the beat. Without this vagus nerve, your new heart has no regulation and pumps blood out of habit. You no longer have a fight or flight response, and your new heart beats at 90+ beats a minute. That is terrifying. So if you get nervous, your heart doesn't race. Right? I have no internal regulation over my heart rate. My new heart beats purely from muscle memory. I can't think about it for too long because it's just too freaky. Never miss a chance to piss. That a strong sense of doom is a medically recognized and majority common precursor to having a heart attack. Armadillos give birth to 4 identical twins always. Yes, just to clarify a little, they bear either 4 or 8 pups. They either have 1 set of identical quads or 2 sets of identical quads. A single spaghetti noodle is called a spaghetto. I thought a spaghetto was a place where poor Italians lived. All colors of Fruit Loops have the same flavor. Newly registered nurse working on a hematology ward and learned that stem cells smell like sweet corn. The main reason we stop doing something we love is because we forget our love of doing it for enjoyment's sake and replace it with the desire to be good at it. You've inspired me. I should go tune up my guitar and get back to playing. I enjoy it. I was decent, and I should enjoy being decent at it rather than good or great. Most people replace their computer or run them into the ground when they get hot and slow, when in reality new thermal compound and a solid-state drive upgrade can fix both problems and increase its lifespan for about $35, $50 and isn't incredibly hard to DIY in most cases. Canadians say sorry so much that an act passed in 2009 states that an apology would not be considered admission to guilt. It's 100 times better to break up when you're in a shit relationship than trying to fix it up for the nth time. In Germany, we have a saying that would translate to, it's better to have it end in terror instead of having terror without end. I work front desk at a hotel. I've seen this before, so I hope it's new to someone. Don't use sites like Expedia, etc. If you book directly with the hotel, you can always call to make changes. If you need to cancel, you can avoid the 24-hour window fee by changing your reservation to a few days later. Then call back the next day to cancel. Third-party booking sites are not easy to change info. We cannot change the rate if something needs to be fixed, and you are looked down upon and get whatever basic rooms are available. Not by me personally, but everyone around me. If you ever have a baseball bat and need to use it as a weapon, put a sock over it so if someone tries to disarm you, it just slide off the sock. If you carry a baseball bat in your vehicle for self-defense, also carry a baseball glove. Even if you don't play baseball, your lawyer will appreciate it. Even if you aren't willing to give mouth-to-mouth on an unconscious person, chest compressions alone greatly increase their odds of survival. If bees were paid the minimum wage, a jar of honey would cost about $200,000. When choking on food and can't get help, you can get into a push-up position and then just drop down. The ground hitting your stomach and chest will cause what you're choking on to dislodge. There are about 60,000 characters in the Mandarin language. A very literate person will know 20,000. The average person from 5,000 to 10,000. If uneducated, around 3,000. If you see a job you really want but aren't quite qualified for, apply anyway. Don't tell yourself no. Make them tell you no. You might be pleasantly surprised. Both my son and daughter followed this advice and got a job that turned into a career. People often underestimate how big a billion actually is. An easy way to conceptualize it is to think of it in terms of seconds. 1 million seconds ago was 12 days ago. 1 billion seconds ago was 1987. What's the difference between 1 million and 1 billion? About a billion. The tensing of leg muscles will deflate an unwanted erection. The human anus can stretch up to 7 inches before taking damage. A raccoon can squeeze into holes as tight as 4 inches, meaning you can take almost to full raccoons up your ass. I've never understood this one. Just because my arsehole can stretch enough for nearly to raccoons to fit through, doesn't mean there's enough room inside my rectum for said raccoons. Should I conduct a practical experiment to prove or disprove this hypothesis? Heat the back of a spoon gently and press it on a mosquito bite for a few seconds to greatly reduce itching. The heat breaks up the protein in the venom. Nuts are not nuts, they're legumes and they grow out of the ground like potatoes. Nuts and drupes typically grow on trees or the seeds of fruits. You can be allergic to tree nuts and not be to peanuts and vice versa. People's conscious decisions are usually nothing of the sort, they're usually made subconsciously. Then, all the conscious mind normally does is build narratives about the previously made decisions. Those narratives consciously seem to arise concurrently with the decisions, but really they arise only afterward. Research on split-brain patients has proven all of this. Simply put, your brain makes choices without you knowing, then tricks you into thinking the choices were yours, by allowing you to invent gratifying reasons why you supposedly chose them. An open-face peanut butter sandwich, when dropped, will always land peanut butter side down. Lesson learned from many years of being a government employee. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Arguing with a genius and winning is possible, but very hard. Arguing with an idiot and winning is impossible. Thanks for watching. Share your stories in the comments.